بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا كثيرا. فما بعد, my brothers and sisters, we come to the seventh of the reasons that Imam Ibrahim Adhim rahmatullah alayhi gave to the people of Basra as the reason why their du'as were not being accepted. And he said to them, you affirm that death is real, but you do not prepare for it. You affirm that death is real, but you do not prepare for it. Subhanallah. Death is the only thing that the entire world agrees upon as being real. There are people who deny Allah, there are people who deny the Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam, there are people who deny all kinds of things which are real, which are true, without a semblance of doubt. But the only thing that people do not deny and they cannot deny no matter what they try, and that is death. Nobody can deny death and nobody denies death. But when you say you don't deny it, what is the evidence that you don't deny it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declared some very critical things about our lives in this world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Araf, وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ فَإِذَا جَاءَ أَجَلُهُمْ لَا يَسْتَأْخِرُونَ سَاعَةً وَلَا يَسْتَقْدِمُونَ. Allah said, for each community, for each people, for each tribe, for each group, and this applies also to the individual. For each individual, there is an appointed time. وَلِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ أَجَلٍ. There is a specific appointed time. When their time arrives, they can neither delay it for a moment or advance it by a moment. So when the time to go comes, we have to go. There is no choice in the matter. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Sajda, قُلْ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ الَّذِي وُكِّلَ بِكُمْ ثُمَّ إِلَى رَبِّكُمْ تُرْجَعُونَ وَلَوْ تَرَى إِذِ الْمُجْرِمُونَ نَاكِسُوا رُؤُوسِهِمْ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ رَبَّنَا أَبْصَرْنَا وَسَمِعْنَا فَارْجِعْنَا نَعْمَلْ صَالِحًا إِنَّا مُوقِنُونَ. And the ayat before this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَقَالُوا أَإِذَا ظَلَلْنَا فِي الْأَرْضِ أَإِنَّا لَفِي خَلْقٍ جَدِيدٍ. To which Allah replied, بَلْ هُمْ بِلِقَاءِ رَبِّهِمْ كَافِرُونَ. Allah said that they say, how is it possible that after we have died and we have become one with the earth, we have decomposed and disintegrated and disappeared into the earth, that we will be resurrected, that we will be brought back alive again? How is it possible? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, this is denying the meeting with their Rabb. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said these ayat, قُلْ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ until نَعْمَلْ صَالِحًا إِنَّا مُوقِنُونَ. Say, O Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa alihi wa sallam, say to them, your soul will be taken by the angel of death, who is in charge of you. قُلْ يَتَوَفَّاكُمْ, you will die. Your soul will be taken. مَلَكُ الْمَوْتِ الَّذِي وُكِّلَ بِكُمْ. Malakul Maut has been set upon you. Then to your Rabb you will all be returned. If only you could see the wicked hanging their heads in shame before their Rabb, crying at that time, our Rabb, we have seen and we have heard. Because on the Day of Judgment they will see. They will see the Rabb Jalla Jalaluhu in his Jalal and in his Azam and in his Qudrat and in his Kamal on his Arsh. And they will see the Malaika Saffan Saffa, row upon row upon row of billions, trillions, zillions. Allah only knows their count. And he will see all the glory and majesty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which he wants to show us on the Day of Judgment. And they will say, Rabbana absarna, oh our Rabb, we have seen. Wa sami'na, we have heard. Farji'na, return us. Send us back. Na'mal salihan inna muqinun. And we will do good, and we truly have sure faith now. But we have to remember and understand that the condition of Islam is Iman bil ghaib, not Iman bil shahada. Iman bil ghaib. Iman on the unperceivable, not just the unseen and the unheard. The unperceivable, that which cannot be perceived in any shape or form, using any instrument, using any tool, using any technology until the end of time. This is al-ghaib. And Islam is to believe in that. And that al-ghaib begins with death. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in Surah Al-Imran, Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. Every soul will taste death. Kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. وَإِنَّمَا تُوَفَّوْنَ أُجُورَكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. And you will only receive your full reward on the day of judgment. And then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala set a standard. فَمَنْ زُحْزِعَ عَنِ النَّارِ وَأُدْخِلَ الْجَنَّةَ فَقَدْ فَازَ. Only the one who is spared from the fire and is admitted into Jannah will indeed triumph. Only that person is successful. وَمَا الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا إِلَّا مَتَاءُ الْغُرُورِ. Whereas the life of this world is no more than the delusion of enjoyment. The enjoyment of this world is not even enjoyment. Even the enjoyment is not real. Even the enjoyment is a delusion. We're fooling ourselves that we are enjoying something. This is the truth, and this is the reality. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala warned us about this on the day, the first day. Now, brothers and sisters, we are on a journey. We are all travelers. We are all travelers in this world. We did not start here, and we will not end here. Our life in this world is a stage in our total existence. We started in the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala when He decided to create us. We remain in that state as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed. The means and rules of this existence were not the same as those that apply to us today. Yet we existed there for as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed. Then from there, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us into the alamul arwah, into the world of the souls, where He asked us if He was not our Rabb. And we all testified to that He indeed is our Rabb. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَإِذْ أَخَذَ رَبُّكَ مِنْ بَنِي آدَمَ مِنْ ظُهُورِهِمْ ذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ وَأَشْهَدَهُمْ عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ أَلَسْتُ بِرَبِّكُمْ قَالُوا بَلَىٰ شَهِدْنَا أَن تَقُولُوا يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ إِنَّا كُنَّا عَنْ هَذَا غَافِلِينَ. Allah said, and remember when your Rabb brought forth from the children of Adam, from their loins, their seed, or from Adam alayhi salam himself, all his children, all his offspring, and made them testify and asked them, am I not your Rabb? And they said, yes, we testify. Bala shahidna. Lest you should say on the day of resurrection, the day of judgment, verily we were not aware of this. You will not be able to deny, because we have already borne witness to the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is our Rabb. We remained there in the alamul arwah for as long as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala willed. The rules of existence in the ilm of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in the alamul arwah, and our present life are all different. Then we were sent into the raham, into the womb of our mothers, where once again the rules and means of our existence and sustenance were completely different. We received nourishment directly from our mother's body, over which we had no control. We continued to be nourished and grow, even if she could not retain anything that she ate or drank. We remained there inside a sack, surrounded by liquid amniotic fluid, without any air to breathe, no sunlight, automatic climate control, very limited space to move, and totally free from all concerns for 9 months. Then we were born into this world, into an environment that was totally strange to us and which was a shock. So we came out screaming and weeping. Those who welcomed us, they smiled and they laughed at our weeping. Let us live in this world in a way, when we leave this world, we will be smiling and laughing in anticipation of what our Rabb Jalla Jalaluhu has in store for us. And the people who see us going, they will weep because of the pain of parting. Now in this world we will live, in this part of our existence, as long as Allah wills. And then we'll go into the next stage of our life. In Urdu we call this intiqal, muntaqil hona, to go from one stage into another stage. And that is al-alam al-barzakh, which is the qabr, which is the grave. There our means of existence and its rules will change once again. Just like the rules of this existence did not apply to our life in our mother's womb, even though the mother herself was subject to those rules, the rules of this existence do not apply in the next stage, al-alamul barzakh. In the womb of our mother, for example, we lived for 9 months breathing water instead of air. We were in a sack which was filled with amniotic fluid. We lived breathing water. Our mother could not live breathing water. She needed air. The rules of the world, the external rules of the world applied to her, but they did not apply to that which was in her own body, which is us. See the Qudrat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Marvel at the majesty and glory of our Rabb Jalla Jalaluhu. And from this alam al-barzakh, from our qubur, we will be raised up on the day of judgment. يوم ينفخ في السور فتأتون أفواجا. When the sur is blown, they come out of their graves in armies, in crowds. And then we will be taken to the place of gathering al-hashr, and we will remain there as long as Allah wills. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ إِلَى الْأَرْضِ ثُمَّ يَعْرُجُ إِلَيْهِ فِي يَوْمٍ كَانَ مِقْدَارُهُ أَلْفَ سَنَةٍ مِمَّا تَعُدُّونَ. Allah said He arranges every affair. Allah arranges every affair from the heavens to the earth. And then the affair will go up to Him. In one day, the space, the duration of that is 1,000 years of your reckoning, which is the reckoning of our present world time. Then we will be assigned to our final place, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decree al-Jannatul Firdaus for us, Jannah or Jahannam, where we will remain forever. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described both destinations, and He gave us the choice to go to whichever destination we wish. We are free to choose, but the choice is not free. About Jannah, Allah described its delights in many places. For example, in Surah An-Nisa, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ سَنُدْخِلُهُمْ جَنَّاتٍ تَجْرِي مِنْ تَحْتِهَا الْأَنْهَارُ خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا أَبَدًا لَهُمْ فِيهَا أَزْوَاجٌ مُطَهَّرَةٌ وَنُدْخِلُهُمْ ظِلًّا ظَلِيلًا. Allah said, but those who believe in Allah, in Tawheed, in the oneness of Allah, and do deeds of righteousness, do good deeds, we shall admit them to gardens under which rivers flow, which is Jannah, abiding therein forever, staying there forever. Therein they shall have azwajum mutahharatun, purified mates, and we shall admit them to shades wide and ever deepening in Jannah. Likewise, about Jahannam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala described it and warned us away from it. Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا وَكَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِنَا أُولَٰئِكَ أَصْحَابُ النَّارِ هُمْ فِيهَا خَالِدُونَ. Allah said, but those who disbelieve and deny and belie our ayat, our signs and the revelation, such are the dwellers of the fire, and they shall stay there forever. May Allah protect us from that. And that is why Rasulullah said, my example is like that of a man on a horse in the desert. he saw a tree and he stopped in the shade to rest a little bit. Then he continued his journey. My example is like that of a man on a horse traveling in the desert. He saw a tree and stopped in the shade to rest a little, and then he continued on his journey. This life is that standing in the shade. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not even say the man lay down there and he slept and spent a couple of hours. No, he just stopped for a little bit to maybe, catch his breath, and then he continued on his journey. It must be understood, we need to understand that the only law is the law of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. His law applied in all our previous existences, and it applies in this one, and it will continue to apply in our existences to come. Nobody other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has any authority in any existence, because He is the creator of the alameen. He is the khaliqu kulli ashya wal ahwal. He is the creator of the things, and He is the creator of all conditions. In this world, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave us limited choice to take decisions about our lives, and He linked consequences to those decisions. Consequences in this world and consequences in the akhirah. However, in His mercy, He also gave us a guidebook, Al-Quran Al-Kareem, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us a teacher, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to teach us how to live and how to take decisions, so that the consequences in both the worlds are always positive. Good results here and good results in the akhirah, inshallah, if we follow the Quran and if we follow the Sunnah of Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not leave it to us to decide using our limited intelligence and faculties. He showed us a way by His perfect knowledge and power. Allah said, مَا تَعْبُدُونَ مِن دُونِهِ إِلَّا أَسْمَاعًا سَمَّيْتُمُوهَا أَنْتُمْ وَآبَاؤُكُمْ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ بِهَا مِن سُلْطَانٍ إِنِ الْحُكْمُ إِلَّا لِلَّهِ أَمَرَ أَلَّا تَعْبُدُوا إِلَّا إِيَّاهُ ذَلِكَ الدِّينُ الْقَيِّمُ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَ النَّاسِ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Allah said, you do not worship besides Him. You do not worship besides Him, but only names which you have named. You have forged, you have created, and your fathers have created by themselves, for which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not sent any authority. You had no authority to do that, but you did it. And then Allah said, the command or the judgment is for none but Allah. He has commanded that you worship none but Him. That is the true, the straight religion. But most people, most men do not know. Since Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inil hukmu illa lillah, the command or judgment is for none but Allah, it is clear that no matter what we choose to do, ultimately only the will of Allah will happen. This is clearly visible in all aspects of creation, be it the movement of celestial bodies, or the flow of blood, the assimilation of food, the contracting of disease or being cured, life and death, regeneration of the earth after rain, or any number of natural phenomena which happen only and only according to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's plan and order. It is only in terms of conduct that we have been given some choice. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's will is the natural law or the universal law. Like gravity, aerodynamics, thermodynamics, or any other natural law, you cannot change it. But we can take steps to save ourselves from its negative effects. For example, use a parachute if we jump from a plane. Gravity won't change, but if you use a parachute, your ending will change for the better. The law does not change, but what changes is the consequence based on our choice. Likewise, we are free to choose to obey or disobey Allah. But every choice has consequences. Let us prepare for the time that we know is inevitable, where we will lose not our life but our ability to choose or act. Death is not the cessation of life, but the cessation of all ability and control. عن أبي هريرة رضي الله عنه أن رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم قال: إذا مات الإنسان انتقع عنه عمله إلا من ثلاث: إلا من صدقة جارية، أو علم ينتفع به، أو ولد صالح يدعوه له. Abu Huraira radiallahu anhu reported that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that when a person dies, all his deeds end except three: ongoing charity, sadaqah jariyah; beneficial knowledge, something good he knew and he taught; or a righteous child who prays for him. And this is in Muslim Sharif. You will see how all of these are related to a person's actions. So we must look to see today which of these we are doing. Narrated Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu that a man asked Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam about the hour, that is the day of judgment, saying, when will the hour be? When will the hour come? Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, what have you prepared for it? The man said, nothing except that I love Allah and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, you will be with those whom you love. Anas bin Malik radiallahu anhu says, we have never been so glad as we were on hearing what Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, which is, you will be with those you love. Therefore, I love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I love Abu Bakr, and I love Umar radiallahu anhu. And I hope that I will be with them because of my love for them, though my deeds are not similar to theirs. This is the inkisar, this is the humility, the humbleness of Anas bin Malik, who is one of the greatest of the Sahaba of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and one of his favorites. The bottom line is, if we want something, we must do something. If we want something, we must do something. Simply wanting it, we will not get it. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who take the actions that are required for us to be among people of Jannah. Wa sallallahu ala nabiyil kareem wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in bi rahmatika ya arhamar rahimin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.